Hello everyone, AmyR here from Prairie Paper and Ink. For today's cards, I am using the Honeybee Stamps Mountain Z-Fold Card Honey Cuts dies. Say that 3 times fast. So it is a set of 3 wafer dies, and each wafer die cuts a different element of this scene that creates a Z-Fold card. And I don't know how well you can see it on camera, but each of the dies also kind of imprints, like embosses lines, like the cloud panel has like embossed lines for the clouds, and the mountains have like little embossed lines along the top too, so there's like a little extra detail. And then each panel also has a embossed line on the side to fold over to create the tabs to create the card, which I will get to, further into the video. So I die cut my pieces, and I also pulled out the Mountain Z-Fold set of stencils because I thought I would get some use out of those as well, which I will. And first things first is I had the dark gray cardstock that I die cut with the mountains, and it's got the embossed lines, and that's all well and good. But of course, for me, I was like, it needs to have snow. Mountains have snow on them. So my first try, I was like, I should just like blend some clear ink. I just used a little blending tool and just applied it directly to the top of this. And then I just used a paintbrush to kind of remove some of the excess embossing powder that I'd poured over it, because I didn't want it to just kind of be like just a blob of embossed powder. I kind of wanted it to look, like there was snow on the top of these. And the cool thing, and I wasn't expecting this, is after melting the embossed powder, the areas where it kind of embossed the lines actually show through. You can see it on the finished card, so that was really cool. So I did that, and then I actually pulled out one of the stencils in the Mountain Z-Fold set, because you've got the actual stencils and then you have masks. So I used the mask, and it's the actual exact size of this die cut. So I just shifted it down a little bit, and then use that to kind of apply the ink. And then I actually use the sides of it too to get more of the ink applied down the embossed lines for the center mountain. So that gave me a little bit more control, which I liked. And then I went back in with the blending tool and just added a bit more ink, because I didn't want, like, again, perfectly straight lines, because that wouldn't look right either. So I do actually kind of like using the mask portion of that stencil. For something like this, it went a lot faster, and I didn't have to fiddle as much with my paintbrush, but as always, like, to each their own. You don't even have to do this if you don't want to. I just thought it'd be a fun way to add snow, and in the end, I really like how it looked. So I did that. And then I also there's the little cloud masks in the stencil set, and they're shaped to the exact same size as the clouds on the die cut. So I just held them in place with my fingers. You could use something like pixie spray or a repositionable adhesive if you wanted. But since I was doing so little, I just held them with my fingers, and I just really lightly blended a bit of Tumbled Glass Distress Oxide ink just to show that little bit of definition between those clouds. It just, that little extra something. So after I did that with the clouds, for the trees, all I did was take some, this is actually VersaFine Clair Shady Lane green ink. I wanted kind of a nice deep green for these evergreen trees. And then I just used a honeybee blending brush and just really lightly like blended that ink onto them. It always gives, like, when you die cut anything, just the plain cardstock is all well and good. But when you get just that little bit extra of, a little bit of ink blending, a little bit of shading, it just, amps it up that extra notch. So that's what I did with the trees, just to give it that extra depth. And then once those were done, you could assemble this card, add a sentiment and be, it's great. Like, there's a scene, everything's great. But I couldn't resist. I needed to use the up and away stamp set from Honeybee. I love these hot air balloons. I have a thing for hot air balloons. It's on my bucket list. I would really love someday to go on a hot air balloon ride. Someday. So I wanted to incorporate these into the card. So I stamped both hot air balloons from that set onto some distressed watercolor paper with that same clear embossing ink. I'd use my anti-static powder tool first, brush off the excess, stamp the stamps, and then I'm going to coat these with that same white embossing powder. Once these are coated, I will melt these with my heat tool until everything is smooth and melted. And especially when I'm doing white on white like this, I always tilt my cardstock like back and forth in the light to make sure everything is raised and shiny and smooth and there's no like grainy or dull areas, because those are the spots that I haven't hit with the heat tool. Because I have done this many times when not paying enough attention and things are white on white and you think it's good, and then you go to color it and like the emboss powder is getting picked up in your brush or, you know, other things, and yeah. So made sure it was all melted. And then to color it, I actually kept the coloring really quick and simple. I just pulled out my Mission Gold watercolor set, which I haven't used in forever. But I pulled that out and I did just like simple watercoloring because I'm just painting on just a layer each time. That's it. I'm not doing any blending or mixing of colors. I just wanted something that I knew was going to be bright and vibrant, and yeah, these fit the bill. And because I did the heat embossing, I can go from one color to the next. I don't have to worry about, you know, making sure everything's dry and colors bleeding into each other. So I painted these in rainbow colors. One, couldn't resist the way they're drawn and sectioned off. It's just, they lend themselves so nicely to rainbow colors. Plus I wanted rainbow because I thought it would really pop on these like mountain Z-fold with the scenery and everything. So I went along and painted these just using one of my Royal and Langnickel Zen watercolor brushes. And that's like all I was doing. Just using a wet brush, picking up the color, painting it on. The only mixing I did was this last one when I did the pink. I mixed the really, really bright pink with the one I had in the palette next to it just to tone it down a little bit because I didn't want like neon pink on this. So blended that down and then painted the little baskets on both of these with just one of the mixtures of brown I had on the palette itself. Let them dry completely. And then I die cut them with the coordinating honey cut die set. Once those were die cut, I pulled out the Blown Away stamp set, which also coordinates with the Up and Away set. So the Blown Away set has all the fun sentiments and whatnot. So I pulled that out and some black cardstock and chose the sentiments I wanted to use for this. So pulled out a couple sentiments from this stamp set, and I'm going to use my mini MISTI again to stamp these sentiments onto the black cardstock. And I'm going to use, again, that same white embossing powder. There's something about white sentiments on black cardstock that just, especially, and I've mentioned this in other videos I've done. Anytime I do anything rainbow, I love a pop of black and white with it. It just works. So, anti-static powder tool, brushed off the excess. Then I'm going to ink up these stamps with the clear embossing ink, and I'm going to do this twice just to make sure I pick up like all the detail on the sentiments. So stamp that twice and then coat it with that same detail white embossing powder. Once these are coated and the excess is tapped off, melt this again with my heat tool, making sure everything is smooth and melted. Always worth it to take that extra few seconds to double check, especially with white embossing powder. It's easier to tell sometimes with metallics, like they just melt. But white embossing powder can sometimes just be tricky. You just don't notice. So I always like to get a really close look at it. Make sure I got all the areas, everything's melted, good to go. So got that all done, and then I used the coordinating wafer dies for this as well to die cut both of these sentiments. So tape those into place with my washi tape, ran them through my die cut machine. So once that's all done, now it's just time to assemble, and this comes together so easy. Like, I'd been putting off using this because sometimes I just overthink things in my head, and then when I actually go to do it, it's a million times easier than I thought it would be. So all I'm doing is applying score tape to the little flaps that the wafer dies die cut and emboss the line for. So I folded all of those over backwards. I'm applying adhesive to the back of them, and I found the easiest way to do this was to just stand them straight up on my desk, line them up, and then you just fold the flap over. That's it. Simple. Peel off the backing, repeat the process. So I've got the cloud background on the back, and then the mountains fold over that, and then the trees fold over that. And then finally, I'm going to line this up onto a piece of A2 size cardstock, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 of just light blue cardstock. Peeled off the back of the cloud piece, lined them up, folded it over, done. So easy. Why did I put off using this? It's the funnest little set, and it creates the funnest little card. So after I've got that adhered, like I said, you could leave it at this and just add a sentiment and the card is done. Like, it's great. But I wanted to add the hot air balloons. So I adhered the smaller one to the mountain area, making sure that none of the adhesive went above, because you don't want to glue this shut and then defeat the purpose. So I adhered that, and then I adhered the little banner right on top of this little hot air balloon. And then the larger hot air balloon I'm going to stick on the inside of the card. something this, like this and the sentiment, it does take up a lot of space, but there's so many areas with a card like this where you can write. Like you can write on the front of the cloud area along the bottom and it would be a little hidden sentiment, or you could stamp something there. You can write on the back of that cloud area too. Like there's just tons of area to write to your recipients. So I don't know, it didn't bother me at all adding this big old balloon to the inside of the card and this big sentiment. And I just love how the bigger one's kind of peeking out when the card is all folded and flat. So that was my cards for today. As always, I will have a link to the blog post. I will have a supply list with links to all the supplies used. So you can check out the description box below if you are interested in any of that. Thank you all so much for watching and thumbs upping and commenting. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye!